There's a lot of speculation out there about what's happened. So to be really clear, a special constable did view the incident on body-worn video footage. There is no evidence to suggest that he's shared those images at all. This falls far below the standards that I expect within this organisation, and as such he appeared before me at an accelerated misconduct hearing where I made the decision to dismiss him from the force.
One of the families have described this as abhorrent voyeurism. How shocked were you by those actions?
It's totally unacceptable, as can be seen by the actions that I've taken.
And we know this isn't the only disciplinary case. There was a public hearing. PC Matthew Gale was given a final warning. Tell us what happened there.
So that officer was found to have shared a WhatsApp message. He shared that WhatsApp message with his friend and his wife. And I want to be really clear, there's no evidence that this is like WhatsApp groups that have been previously reported in other forces where comments are made about victims. This appears to be a WhatsApp group with a number of officers that work together talking about work. In that message there are two, what I would call unprofessional and unacceptable words that are used.
Are other things going to emerge?
There is another misconduct case coming up. This relates to a police staff member who we know has accessed systems around the offender in this incident. This is ongoing, so I can't say much else. But again, there is no sharing of images and no viewing of images in relation to this individual.
I suppose people will be asking the question, is this a few bad apples or is it a rotten culture?
As I've said, there are the vast majority of officers that work in this organisation do a brilliant job and work really hard to deliver. There is nothing else that we are aware of.
What do you say to the parents, to Emma Webber, who is horrified by what's emerged about these disciplinary incidents?
I'm not going to try and pretend that I feel the same horror as she does. But as Chief Constable of this organisation, I do feel horror that some members of my staff have behaved in that way. That is why we have dealt with them swiftly.
And of course those incidents don't even begin to address much more serious concerns from the victims' families, do they? First of all, they have questioned whether these killings could have been prevented in the first place. There was an outstanding warrant, an assault on the police officer, and for months Valdo Calacane wasn't arrested when he could have been. Again,
I can totally appreciate how desperate the family are to get these answers. That's why we've got the independent review, and that is where the answers will come from. It would be inappropriate for me to comment on those.
The other thing the families have been very critical of is that toxicology evidence wasn't taken, which they believe could have led to a murder conviction, which didn't happen.
Yeah, I am aware of the family concerns that they've raised in relation to that, and obviously the family raised a number of concerns in the media after the trial. All of those have been relayed to the independent body that is looking at our response. We are cooperating with that, and I welcome that independent oversight.
What's the key message you'd like to give to those families now?
I think the key message that for me to give them now is that the offer is still open. If they want to come and meet me, I would like that opportunity to speak with them. However, we have got the ongoing reviews. I think I want to reassure them that those reviews will look at what we did and hopefully give them the answers they want. After the trial, I've written on 2 occasions to all of the families affected and offered to meet them. I've also written and apologised to the families about the fact that our professional standards investigations, they weren't informed about them in a timely manner and they weren't given sufficient details. That shouldn't have happened.
They will say, you're the Chief Constable, this happened on your watch, the buck stops with you. Are you going to carry the can if this review says Nottinghamshire Police failed badly here?
The book most definitely stops with me. And it's important now, more than ever, that I lead this organisation forward.
What do you most regret about what's happened?
I regret that the families feel like they haven't had the support of the organisation, and I would one day like to try and understand why that happened and what went wrong for them to feel that way. This is one of the most brutal and horrific incidents we've seen here in Nottingham in our history, and my thoughts will always remain with the families.